Hello viewers, welcome to English for my world. Well, we know that mother tongue plays key role in learning English as a second language. That's the reason we call the first language as L1 and the second language as L2. Knowingly or unknowingly, we always take the help of our mother tongue in listening to English speakers or in reading a text in English. Even spoken communication, we always take a sort of help from our mother tongue, and of course writing too. So there is definitely some influence of mother tongue in our spoken communication as well as written communication, because after all, mother tongue is the first language that all of us have learnt. English, at least in India, is learnt as a second language or as one of the official languages or the only official language, the kind of government that we have. This government is run by English as an official language. Okay. So my focus for today is how to neutralize the influence of mother tongue in speaking English effectively. If we observe Telugu speakers, they pronounce some of the words with the influence of Telugu, which is the mother tongue, which is the vernacular language, or which is the local language of Telugu speakers. Tamilians or Tamil speakers, they have the influence of mother tongue in connected speech or in spoken communication. Keralites, people who speak Odisha or Bengalis, so even Muslims for that matter. So somewhere or the other, mother tongue keeps influencing our communication. May not be in the case of everybody, but it is in the case of people who are using English in day-to-day communication. Because like American English, British English, nowadays we have Indian English. And Indian English is considered to be one of the standard and acceptable forms of English that is spoken across the world or across the globe. It is regarded and respected as one of the standard forms of English language. So that is the status Indian English has. With the advent of the information technology and with the establishment of different MNCs, several engineers or several employees are recruited in these companies, and all these employees or most of these employees are in touch with foreign clients. That is the reason in the case of for instance engineering graduates, most of them, they are not able to prove themselves in the interviews, or they are not able to live up to the mark in their jobs because of the influence of mother tongue. And as a result of that, resultantly, some of them are even losing their jobs. So you see how important neutralization of mother tongue is for effective spoken communication. And to know more about such neutralization, I have got some important areas written for your easy understanding on the board. We focus more on globally accepted style. What is that globally accepted style? Well, for instance, pronouncing a word such as worst or against is something very odd and weird. In a word like this, it has to be worst or against. It can never be against. Similarly, words such as nurse, curse, purse, where R is unnecessarily highlighted or R is unnecessarily stressed. In fact, R is completely silent there. It has to be nurse, curse, purse. So, take for example, people who are from Odisha. In fact, they pronounce the word where as bhere. When did you come? Where did you go? Huge influence of vernacular language, our mother tongue on spoken English. Take for instance most of the Keralites. They pronounce the sound k as g. For instance, qualification, education, or educational qualifications. So the k sound is almost pronounced as g sound. And for a native speaker, these are like culture shocks. What? Qualification. What does he mean by that? Or education. Is there a new word in English language that is called as education? No, it is education and qualification. So the language that we speak, the language that we use should be globally acceptable, globally standard. That is point one in my talk on neutralization of mother tongue in this session. I am going to the second one, that is vernacular accent. Vernacular accent. Take for instance Tamilians. The way they use the questions or the way they ask questions such as appidiya, yanna, yenge, the same kind of the dragging of that sound is also applied in the case of English questions such as vera, venna, vata. Whereas it has to be that unnecessary dragging, it takes away the beauty of language in that question completely. It has to be where, when, what, why, how, all open-ended questions. So we must ensure that the local language or vernacular language, regional language, mother tongue, that accent, it should not be taken from mother tongue. Do not take the actual accent of mother tongue and use it or attach it to the phrases and expressions of English. That will take away the sheen and the beauty of language, of English language completely, and it rather confuses the listener. Instead of convincing the listener, it confuses the listener. So we need to be very careful about those areas. If you take for instance our Muslim brothers, they pronounce the letter S as istation, iskul, Ismail. Ismail is almost like Ishmael kind of word. Well, that is taken from Arabic. It has to be smile, which is neutral, station, school. Okay. Now, my third focus is how to be comfortable and perfect in speaking English language. Well, we feel comfortable in speaking our mother tongue because that's the language that we have been listening to in our neighborhood, with our relatives, friends, colleagues. Everywhere it is regional language, local language, that is widely spoken, widely understood, and hence we feel very comfortable when we converse in our mother tongue, our local language. Why not feel the same comfort in using English? That is possible when we use English every day of our life, or in every area of our life. In fact, when people try to speak in English in their workplace, some of their colleagues discourage them by saying, "Come on, are you a foreigner? Have you just landed in the airport?" They discourage them. They try to belittle them. Well, without practice, without interaction, without communication, how can one develop the neutral accent? How can one reduce the influence of mother tongue on speaking English? So all that I'm talking about is we need to practice this language every day. It is not just for a particular study. It is not just while we are reading a book. It is an everyday affair. It's an everyday process. So keep speaking, keep talking, and keep using language that is neutral. Keep using English that is neutral and is free from the influence of mother tongue. Okay. Now my next focus is observe the mouth movements. Observing the mouth movements. If you look at foreigners, if you observe their mouth movements, they do not open their mouth very widely. One, it is because of the cold weather there. And two, in these foreign countries, the first thing that they teach in their school, even to the school kids, the first thing that they teach is phonetics. Phonetics. Sounds is what they teach. What is the correct pronunciation of this syllable? Or what is the correct pronunciation of this word? How do I pronounce it? Do I pronounce it as question or question? Well, question is incorrect. It has to be question. So from the beginning, those sounds are taught in a consistent and systematic manner in their schools, and most importantly in their schools. Therefore, we need to observe the mouth movements of native speakers most importantly, or people who use language in a neutral accent most importantly. We have got some of the celebrities who use language without the influence of mother tongue. We have got some of the political leaders who can speak language without the influence or by neutralizing their mother tongue. The beauty of spoken communication in English language is the listener should not be able to make out your mother tongue when you speak out. That is the neutral accent that a correct user uses. The listener, he should not be able to make out what the mother tongue is or what the vernacular language of the person is. That is the correct accent one should practice consistently and systematically. It is possible when we observe speakers who use language in such a way or in such a manner. So observe them maybe next time when you watch TV, or observe them maybe in different kinds of programs at different places. All right, I'm going to the next one. And the next one is, my point number 5 is imitate. Language is imitation. We have learnt our mother tongue by observing or by imitating the sounds made by father at home, mother at home, our siblings, relatives, neighbors. We have been listening to those sounds, and that's how we picked up our mother tongue, our regional language, local language. Similarly, English also needs to be observed and imitated, observed and practiced, repeated. How does he pronounce the word thank you? Well, some of them very, very weirdly pronounce in Telugu as thank you. I was taken aback when one of the professionals uses the word thank you or thanks in the place of thanks. Well, it is not thanks. It is not water tanks that we are talking about. We are talking about thanks or thank you. Even that thank is pronounced not even as the, but th. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Sixth one, the focus for today, listen to the music in English. Why? What for? Well, when you listen to a particular music in English, you will observe the lyrics in that language. What sort of words are used? What sort of phrases and expressions are used in the tune? And you enjoy it by singing, by repeating those words. Remember when we learnt nursery rhymes in our childhood days or in the primary classes, they were all like in the form of a song. The teachers would teach in the form of a song so that we remember those expressions, just like a poem. The pronunciation, and most importantly, the joy of using that language. It's something like, London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. You see, we are using different tunes here, rising tune as well as falling tune. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. So likewise, by listening to the songs or rhymes in English, you will come to know many new words. My fair lady. You will enjoy the rhythm, the tune of that language. So listen to a lot of music in English and try to pick up and try to observe the kind of pronunciation that the native speaker uses, and try to acquire such neutral pronunciation. Okay, the next focus for today, use the dictionary. Use the dictionary. Whenever we have a problem in the pronunciation of a particular word, we always look up a dictionary, because that's where we have the phonetic transcription of that word. We know that there are 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds, and when we transcribe the word phonetically, we know the correct pronunciation of the word. So use dictionary in case of doubt. Constantly and consistently use dictionary for correct pronunciation of the word. Is it schedule or schedule? Well, when I refer to Oxford Dictionary, it says both the words are acceptable, both the pronunciations are acceptable. You can use it as schedule, you can also use it as schedule. Similarly, words such as, do we call it as, for instance, for example, I have already used this, question or question. For instance, the word such as CHEF, CHEF. This is a noun, and this person, the profession of this person, he is a master cook in a hotel. Though the word starts with the letters C and H, it is pronounced as chef, not as chef. We say he's a chef in a hotel. We don't say he's a chef in a hotel. So how to know the correct pronunciation of that word chef? I need to refer to a dictionary and confirm whether it is sh sound or ch sound that is produced there. So keep looking up the dictionary constantly. Alright, okay. Here we go to the next area, and the next area is read aloud. Reading aloud. This gives you excellent practice in taking those meaningful mouthfuls. For instance, when news readers read news items or the news story on TV channels, they use pauses, they use intonation. They don't read all the news items in the same fashion. Do they use the same kind of tone for all the kinds of news items? No. For instance, someone passed away. Do they say that in a very exciting and enthusiastic mood? No. They use rather a very falling tune or pathetic tune. And we can very well make out by the way they are using those words. The dear leader passed away. They don't say, the dear leader passed away. It is as if it's not something cheerful to express or to convey. So, when you read something, read it aloud and let the words make meaning to you. And pronounce that neutral accent repeatedly by speaking it aloud, by reading it aloud. That helps you a lot in using words, in using the connected speech, in using the sentences confidently, accurately, successfully, and pleasantly, most importantly. You see how many adverbs have I used now? All the words that are suffixed by ly are all adverbs in parts of speech. Whatever I have used just now, confidently, successfully, pleasantly, boldly, all these words. Okay, now look at the next one, that is strong mouth muscles. Strong mouth muscles. Research says that one should read at least 15 to 20 minutes every day for about 3 months to develop strong mouth muscles. Meaning, we need to have some extra muscles to speak this language pleasantly, fluently, and accurately. This is almost like gymming in a sort of gym center. You are tuning your muscles in such a way that the language is spoken fluently and pleasantly without the influence of mother tongue, so that it is a sort of music to the ears of the listener. It is not like you take maybe pebbles and you put them in a bowl and you shake the bowl. When the language or when the pronunciation is faulty or incorrect, it is something like you take a few pebbles, put them in a bowl and shake the bowl. It is so unpleasant as that. It is so unpleasant. So let the language be pleasant. Let the listener enjoy what you are saying. Let the listener in the first place understand what you are trying to communicate and express. And you put your ideas across. Okay, let me go to the next one. So at least for about 3 months, whenever you read a newspaper article, most importantly, newspapers will be highly beneficial to practice this reading aloud tip or technique that I am sharing with you today. So when you read that news article, read it aloud so that it becomes easy for you to know the correct pronunciation. Alright, the next focus is record your own voice. Well, most of us, we don't like to record our own voice because we don't want to listen to our voice. Once spoken is spoken, that's over. Why should I listen to that again? Well, you need to record and listen to your own voice to know whether there are any mistakes or whether there are any problems in the way you pronounce the words, you utter the words. Now we have got so many smartphones, it's very easy for you to record your own voice. So do that, maybe during presentations or maybe during some important telephonic conversations. Imagine the telephonic conversation is a sort of telephonic round of interview. You can record the kind of answers that you are giving to the interviewer so that you can always go back and replay the whole thing so that you will understand, okay, this is the place where I should have been correct. I have used this word incorrectly. I need to pronounce it correctly. Do that. Go practice that. And the last tip that I have for you today is be patient. Be patient. Do not expect a very refined kind of language in a very short span of time. It is possible, but slow and steady wins the race. Slowly and steadily, you will definitely acquire such neutral accent by reducing the influence of mother tongue. So viewers, remember all these tips and techniques that I have given you so far, and try to practice it regularly in your day-to-day communication. I have used all these, I have given you all these tips today. So do not forget to, observe the mouth movements, imitate the correct language uses, and listen to the music in English. Use the dictionary, read aloud. Try to develop strong mouth muscles. Record your voice and listen to that. Repeat that. Finally, be patient, and you can become one of the fluent users of English language. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you all success.